Hey everybody, it's noon, and so here we go. Today I want to talk to you about something we all have kids, and if you don't have them yet, you will, and you will worry, and that is we worry about and but there is a great promise in the Bible. Psalm 103 it says this. It says, "The love of the Lord." This is Psalm 103:17. "The love of the Lord remains forever for those who fear him. His salvation is to the children's children." God gives us a promise, not just for our children's salvation, but for our children's children's salvation. And the fact that God puts that promise in the Bible lets us know that he knows what we worry about, right? And the fact he put that promise in the Bible means that he's thinking about our children and our grandchildren's salvation as well. That should be so comforting for you. We cannot control what our children believe. We can do our best to influence them, live the Christian life in front of them, but we can also claim the promises of God for them. That's what God gave them to us for. I think about Franklin Graham, Billy Graham's son. Billy traveled the world preaching the good news of Jesus, but his son Franklin ran from God. It turned out well, though. Franklin was the prodigal, and he came back. And I know that the stories don't always turn out that way, but I guarantee you, Billy and his wife Ruth prayed for Franklin. And that's what we can do. We can pray for our kids. I want to encourage you to live in faith, not fear. Replace your fear about your kids and grandchildren's salvation with faith. Believe God for them. Your prayers are the most powerful things you have besides living your example in front of them. And I want to say this last thing. If your kids aren't walking with the Lord, don't live in guilt. You might think, yeah, but it was my fault. Well, I'm sure you didn't do things right. I'm hoping I certainly haven't done things right. But you know what? Everybody's responsible for their own life. And look, kids that come from families that, quote, do it perfectly go astray as well. You can't let pride climb up inside of you and say, yeah, well, our kids are following Jesus because we did it better than the family down the street. Look, God did a pretty good job and Adam and Eve still rebelled, right? So look, we all need the promises of God for our children. So I just want to encourage you today, do the best you can, live the Christian life in front of your kids. Pray for them with the promises of God that he's given to us, like this one in Psalm 103, verse 17. I'm going to read it again. "The love of the Lord remains forever for those who fear him. His salvation extends to the children's children." Pray for them, claim the promises, live in front of them and the best you can for Jesus. And then remember this one last thing. You are not their Savior. Jesus is.